Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever noticed how the most powerful forces in life move in silence? Think about it. Trees grow in silence. The universe expands in silence. Even the most strategic players in life make their moves without announcing them. But here's the problem. We live in a world where everyone wants to be heard, where noise is mistaken for progress. We rush, we push, we talk, we demand. But in doing so, we block what is meant to flow into our lives naturally. Today, I want to share with you a truth that will change the way you approach success, relationships, and life itself. Stay silent, and everything will come to you naturally. Silence is often misunderstood. People associate it with weakness, submission, or a lack of confidence, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful tools you can wield. When used effectively, silence can command respect, influence others, and create an air of authority that words simply cannot match. In a world where everyone is competing to be the loudest, the one who masters silence stands out as the strongest. When you stay silent, you force others to pay attention. In conversations, the loudest person is not always the most respected. The one who speaks less but listens more holds the real power. When you speak sparingly, every word you say carries weight. People lean in, eager to hear what you have to say because they know that when you do speak, it matters. Compare that to someone who talks endlessly. Eventually, their words lose impact. They blend into the background noise. But when you practice silence strategically, your words become valuable currency. Silence also creates mystery, and mystery breeds intrigue. Human nature drives us to be curious about what we do not know. A person who doesn't reveal too much about themselves naturally becomes more interesting. When you don't give everything away, people start to wonder about you. They start to fill in the blanks with their own assumptions, often attributing strength, intelligence, and confidence to your quiet demeanor. This is why some of the most respected leaders and visionaries in history have been those who spoke with precision and purpose, rather than filling every moment with unnecessary chatter. Beyond perception, silence is a tactical advantage. In negotiations, for example, silence can make the other party uncomfortable, prompting them to reveal more information than they intended. A well-placed pause can make someone second-guess their stance, rethink their offer, or feel the need to justify their position. The best negotiators in the world know that the person who talks the least controls the conversation. By staying silent, you allow others to expose their thoughts, weaknesses, and desires while you remain in control. Another aspect of silence is its ability to maintain inner peace and composure. When you are silent, you are not just refraining from speaking, you are listening, observing, and absorbing everything happening around you. You become more attuned to the emotions, energy, and intentions of others. Instead of reacting impulsively, you gain the ability to respond with intention and clarity. This ability to stay composed in any situation is what separates great leaders, successful entrepreneurs, and influential individuals from the rest. The most powerful people do not waste their energy proving themselves through words. They let their presence, actions, and results do the talking. When you develop the ability to remain silent in the right moments, you elevate your influence and presence in any room you enter. The world respects those who don't need to shout to be heard, and when you master the power of silence, you become someone who commands attention without ever having to demand it. Patience is one of the most underestimated yet powerful virtues a person can develop. In a world driven by instant gratification, where people expect immediate results and overnight success, patience is what separates those who truly achieve greatness from those who burn out too soon. Mastering patience isn't just about waiting, it's about knowing how to wait with purpose, discipline, and unwavering faith in the process. Every successful endeavor, whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, requires time. The greatest entrepreneurs didn't build their empires overnight. The strongest relationships weren't formed in a day. Even nature teaches us this. Trees don't grow in a week, and mountains aren't formed in a month. The best things in life take time to develop, and those who understand this principle position themselves for long-term success. Patience is about trusting the timing of your journey. When you rush the process, you risk missing out on the lessons and growth that come with it. Too often, people quit too soon because they don't see immediate results. They abandoned their goals, not realizing that success was just around the corner. The ability to stay patient in the face of uncertainty is what allows people to persevere through the challenges that test their commitment. Beyond success, patience strengthens the mind. It cultivates emotional resilience and self-control, allowing you to navigate setbacks without becoming discouraged. Impatience leads to frustration, bad decisions, and wasted energy. But when you master patience, you develop the ability to remain calm and composed, even when things aren't going your way. You stop reacting impulsively and start responding strategically. This shift in mindset creates a sense of inner peace that gives you an edge over those who let their emotions dictate their action. Patience also plays a critical role in relationships. Whether in friendships, business partnerships, or romantic connections, understanding that people need time to grow, change, and align with you is essential. Rushing relationships or forcing connections often leads to disappointment. But when you allow things to unfold naturally, you build trust, stability, and genuine bonds that stand the test of time. Another key element of patience is the ability to delay gratification. Many people sacrifice long-term rewards for short-term pleasures. They take shortcuts, chase quick wins, or settle for less because they don't want to wait for something better. But those who master patience understand the power of holding out for what truly aligns with their vision. They are willing to put in the work without expecting immediate payoffs, knowing that the long game always yields the greatest rewards. When you embrace patience, you shift from a mindset of desperation to one of confidence. You no longer chase opportunities. Instead, you attract them by demonstrating that you are in control of yourself and your journey. The world bends to those who trust the process, who don't rush, and who understand that everything they desire will come to them at the right time if they remain persistent and unwavering in their belief. Listening is one of the most underrated yet powerful skills a person can develop. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, where conversations often turn into competitions for attention, the ability to truly listen sets you apart. Most people hear, but few actually listen. They are too busy thinking about what to say next, too focused on their own thoughts, or too distracted to absorb what is being communicated. But those who master the art of listening gain an advantage in every area of life, whether in business, relationships, leadership, or personal growth. When you listen more than you speak, you gain insight. You learn things that others miss. You pick up on unspoken emotions, hidden intentions, and underlying meanings. People reveal more than they realize when they speak. But it takes a skilled listener to catch those details. The best negotiators, leaders, and influencers are not the ones who dominate conversations. They are the ones who let others talk while they carefully absorb information, using it to make calculated and informed decisions. Listening also builds deeper connections. People crave to be understood, and when they feel heard, they trust and respect you more. If you want to influence someone, don't try to impress them with your words. Make them feel important by genuinely listening to what they have to say. This is why the most charismatic and well-liked individuals are not necessarily the ones who talk the most, but those who make others feel valued through their attention and presence. When you give someone your undivided focus, you make them feel significant, and that creates a lasting impression. One of the biggest mistakes people make in communication is assuming that talking more makes them more persuasive. But in reality, speaking too much can weaken your position. The more you talk, the more you reveal, sometimes unnecessarily. Silence, paired with active listening, can be a powerful tool. It makes others fill in the gaps, sometimes giving away more than they intended. This is a well-known tactic in negotiations, where strategic silence can pressure the other person into revealing their true position or even conceding. Energy speaks louder than words. Long before you open your mouth, people have already felt your presence. The way you carry yourself, the way you move, the way you simply exist in a space, all of it communicates something. Words can be manipulated, rehearsed, and crafted to impress, but energy is raw and undeniable. It is the unspoken language that determines how people perceive you, respond to you, and ultimately how they remember you. Confidence, certainty, and authenticity radiate through energy, not speech. Think about the most captivating individuals you've ever encountered. They aren't necessarily the ones who talk the most or use the most complex words. They are the ones whose presence commands attention without effort. Their energy speaks for them before they even say a word. Whether in a business meeting, a social gathering, or a one-on-one interaction, the energy you bring into a room determines the experience people will have with you. Energy carries emotion, and emotion is what drives human connection. People remember how you made them feel far more than they remember the details of what you said. If your words are powerful, but your energy is weak, uncertain, or inconsistent, your message loses its impact. On the other hand, if your words are few, but your energy is strong, filled with conviction, passion, and authenticity, you don't need to say much at all. People will feel your truth. They will be drawn to you, not because of what you say, but because of what you project. This is why two people can say the exact same thing, yet one will inspire and influence while the other will be ignored. It's not the words that matter, it's the energy behind them. A hesitant voice, scattered focus, or lack of belief in one's own message will be felt before it is heard. But when someone speaks with full alignment between their energy and their words, people listen. They don't just hear the message, they experience it. The most effective leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries understand that their energy is their greatest tool. They don't waste time trying to convince others of their value. They embody it. They walk into a room with the energy of someone who belongs there, and the world responds accordingly. They don't need to oversell themselves because their confidence is felt. This is why energy is often the deciding factor in opportunities, relationships, and success. Managing and mastering your energy is more important than perfecting your words. Your energy reflects your mindset, your emotions, and your level of self-belief. If you feel uncertain, people sense it. If you feel powerful, people sense that too. Learning to cultivate, protect, and direct your energy is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. It affects how you show up in the world, how others perceive you, and ultimately what you attract into your life. The moment you realize that your energy does most of the talking, you stop trying so hard to prove yourself with words and start focusing on embodying the presence of someone who naturally commands respect, opportunity, and influence. Nature is the ultimate teacher. It holds the blueprint for success, showing us that everything unfolds in its own time, without force, without resistance, and always in alignment with a greater order. When we look at how nature operates, we see patience, persistence, resilience, and balance. Qualities that, when applied to our own lives, lead to real and lasting success. A tree doesn't rush its growth. It doesn't demand to be tall overnight. It simply follows the natural process, roots first, then trunk, then branches, then leaves. Success works the same way. If you try to skip steps, forcing results before laying the foundation, you will not be able to sustain what you build. Just like a tree needs deep roots to withstand storms, you need strong fundamentals, skills, mindset, and discipline to sustain long-term success. Nature also teaches us the power of consistency. The ocean doesn't crash against the shore once and expect to shape the coastline. It moves again and again, day after day, and over time it carves through rock. The same principle applies to achieving anything worthwhile. Repetition, consistency, and persistence are what create mastery. No single action changes your life, but what you do every day, over months and years, shapes your future. There is also wisdom in the changing seasons. Spring brings new growth. Summer is about flourishing. Autumn teaches letting go, and winter allows rest and renewal. Life works in the same cycles. There are times for expansion, times for harvesting the rewards of your efforts, times to release what no longer serves you, and times to slow down and reflect. People who resist these cycles, trying to grow in every season, burn out. Those who embrace them, adapting as needed, thrive. Nature never forces, yet everything gets done. The river does not struggle to reach the ocean, it flows. The sun does not compete to shine, it simply rises. Success should feel the same. Struggle and stress come from going against the natural rhythm of things. When you align yourself with the process, when you trust that the right actions done consistently will lead to results, you eliminate the need to force things to happen. Resilience is another lesson nature provides. The tallest trees have endured the strongest winds. The strongest animals have adapted to their environments. Life doesn't always go as planned, but those who learn to bend without breaking, who adapt instead of resist, are the ones who make it through challenges stronger than before. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. Just as a seed must break open to grow into a plant, setbacks are necessary for transformation. If you ever feel lost in your journey, look at nature. Everything in it operates with a purpose, with patience, with balance, and with an understanding that growth is a process. When you align yourself with these principles, success stops feeling like a chase and starts feeling like something that naturally unfolds, just as it does in the world around you.